Scary story time, Appalachian Mountain edition. At 5 a.m. Okay. Have I been up all night? Yes. Let's just do a little bit, get your money's worth, and let it drain. Because I'm trying to make like a beaded slime. Now, Kyle, he was a camper. He loved hiking, he loved camping, he loved all of it. I put like beads in this bowl and very little slime because I want to make like a bead slime. So yeah, like I said, Kyle loved hiking. And he especially loved hiking and camping with his buddy, Brandon. Brandon wasn't really a camper. It kind of freaked him out. Why is my camera doing that? I'm gonna crash out. But Brandon decided to go along with the hike because it was Kyle's birthday. So he was like, you know what? I guess I'll hike with you. Yeah. They get to their campsite, they set up camp, and they're having a nice time all day. Like, they're right by a river too, so it's really beautiful. Now, Kyle and his buddy Brandon, they get in their tent, and as they're about to go to sleep, this is when they hear like millions of footprints, like millions of them. They hear people talking by their campfire, all right? Talking by their campfire, and then suddenly their campfire goes out, all right? No idea, it just goes out. So at this point, Brandon and both Kyle are up and they're freaked out, especially Brandon because he's never went camping before, hiking, none of this, and he's just doing this for his best friend, and look at where it landed him. Now, wait, this is coming out exactly how I wanted it to. It's so pretty. Anyways, now Kyle wasn't the one to play. He had a loaded pew-pew on him at all times, especially when he went out camping solo. So when they heard all these footprints and they heard people talking by their campfire in a language they couldn't understand, Kyle literally said, "Go away right now or I will pew-pew you." And the people just kept on talking. And then they started talking louder, and then they started to scream. And then they heard running around their freaking tent. I have goosebumps again. I hate doing this at night. Then out of nowhere, everything stopped. Everything went silent. They couldn't hear the forest. They couldn't hear the footsteps. They couldn't hear the people talking. They couldn't hear nothing but each other's hearts pounding out of their chest. All right? And that's what freaked Kyle out even more, because rule number 1 in the Appalachian Mountain is, honey, if that was loud. If the forest goes silent while you up in that mountain, something out there with you. Then they started to hear whistling, right? Whistling coming from all areas. And along with the whistling came the screaming, and then this sound that he can't even really explain because it doesn't even sound like something a human could mimic, but it was shredding, all right? And then after that, it was complete silence, and it would kick up all over again. They survived till morning, but the freakiest part is that they seen the footsteps around their tent, around their campfire, and then they seen the scratch marks about 10 feet up on a tree. Scratch marks all over the trees. Y'all, this is why I don't go camping. You would never catch me freaking camping ever. All right, y'all, we have 2 slimes, and we're gonna see which ones pops the best, okay? So let's like go like this, go like that, and then circle it, and 1, 2, 3. That was like really good. And then we're gonna do it another way so we can like judge them in 2 ways. Now we're gonna do this way, stretch, and then we're gonna kind of like fold it like that. All right, this one we're gonna call Little Bill. All right, so Little Bill, I low-key love the way Little Bill sounds. This is Big Bill. All right. Okay. It's still going. Well, okay. I love Little Bill, but Big Bill got that one. So now we're gonna do this one. Alright. How did I do it last time? Oh, I did like that. I feel like Little Bill won that one because I feel like Big Bill is just too big for me to like actually do it right. So yeah, he's just too big. But the slime is so pretty. Oh my gosh. So my favorite one tonight definitely has to be this one. I think I just like the color. So yeah, this one's like so tiny. I really wish I could put it in the squishy, but that's the end of the video. So bye guys. Scary story time at 3 a.m. in National Park edition. It's actually 4 in the morning, but yeah, I started it at 3. I have to whisper, guys, but you already know. Get your money's worth and what? Let it drain. Okay. This story time was sent in by a girl named Mallory, but it's about her older cousin Tom. Tom worked in a national forest. He was a park ranger. So part of Tom's job was to just make sure people were okay, and if they were lost, he would try to find them. You know, people went missing in forests a lot. No one had ever gone missing in the time that Tom was there, and this was his second year working there. Until one day, he was notified that a woman had went missing in the woods. In Tom's head, it's a big deal, but it wasn't really a big deal because the way his coworkers explained, they made it seem like they found missing people all the time. So he did his rounds, he checked in the spots that, you know, someone who would go missing would usually be, and they couldn't find her. It had been 10 hours at this point that she was alone in the woods. Not to mention, it was winter, so it was freezing outside. There was really nothing Tom or Tom's team could do, so they went home that night, and Tom could not get this poor woman off of his mind. 3 days go by and they find the missing woman, but unfortunately she is unalived. In a brutal way, I might add. It was horrifying. Can't really go into details on this app. Put like this smell good, a little bit of that in there. Smells so good. This is so pretty, oh my gosh. The woman was unalived by someone else, y'all. Now you may think the story ends there, but it doesn't. The story is low-key just getting creepier. This is during one of Tom's night shifts, and he starts to hear like talking outside, and it's late. So he goes to check, and this is where he sees somebody far off in the distance of the woods just standing there. He gets his flashlight, and he sees a woman covered in blood. After Tom sees that woman, he knows in his head something's up. So he didn't chase after her because it's the middle of the night and it's freezing outside, and that woman was running, and it was also like she wanted him to chase her. So the next night, it's his night shift again, and this is where he hears blood-curdling screams. Keep in mind, Tom is by himself. He's by himself. So when I'm getting goosebumps. He hears these blood-curdling screams. He looks outside again, and what does he see? He sees a woman standing off by the post, and she's like just screaming. So he takes his flashlight. She runs away. This is where things get weird though. After he goes back in, he hears complete silence from the forest, which is strange because it's a forest and it's completely silent. Not a bug, not a noise, not nothing. And then he hears crying so loud it could like pierce your eardrums, and he is freaked out because again, he's here by himself, and he thinks that whatever, like the poor woman who was unalived a couple of days, or I think, what was it, a week ago, I cannot remember, he thinks she's haunting the place. So after the third night of complete torture, he quits the job. I wish I could show y'all up close. Oh no, y'all could see. Look at the goosebumps. He quits the job, and on his drive home, because of course it's a wooded area and his home is like 40 minutes away, he sees a woman in the middle of the street covered in blood, and he steers away, and he stops until he realizes that that's the woman who was unalived just days prior. Mind you, this is like 30 minutes from the site that it happened. We don't know, he doesn't really explain why he believes she was personally haunting him, but y'all, I don't know, that one gave me goosebumps. But anyways, y'all, look at this slime that won't activate. It's so pretty, but it just won't activate. Like, I feel like it's activating now, but like, my slimes always activate towards the end, and I'm tired of that. But here's the slime. It's so pretty. I'm gonna call it Blueberry Shine. And yeah. So here's that scary story time. Story time while I try to fix this strawberry shortcake store-bought slime Appalachian Mountain edition. I get these slimes from 5 and Below, y'all. 5 and Below. It's been so okay. I'm finna crash out. Natalie spends the summer in the Appalachian Mountains. Ooh, I don't have a smell. It smell like they tried to put smell in here. She be spending the summer with her grandma. So she practically grew up. Oh my gosh, ew. She practically grew up in the Appalachian Mountain like region. Like, she knows about the stories. It's like super sticky. This is the first one that's been like bad. Natalie knows not to go outside at night. She knows not to whistle in the woods. She knows what could be lurking in the forest, though she never really believed it. It's literally sticking to everything. Like, I swear I'm not over exaggerating it. Like, okay. Natalie ends up making a friend called Star. Now, Star, she knows nothing about the Appalachian region. Though she's heard stories on TikTok and on Instagram, she's never really freaking believed it. And yes, we have to pull out the big guns because this slime is super sticky, and yeah. Summer and Natalie click extremely fast, and Natalie tries to warn Summer of what could await in the forest. But Summer's one of those girls who don't follow nobody. She don't care what nobody gotta say. She gonna do what she wanna do. Now, Natalie's grandparents were going to be leaving her the house because they were, I think they were going to be gone for the weekend. I actually have to go check. Yeah, y'all, they were going to be gone for the weekend. So Summer ends up convincing Natalie to do things she knows she ain't supposed to be doing, like going outside at night. I'm going to try my hardest to save this slime. It's just like a bit unactivated. When Natalie invites Summer over, they're having a good time. Like, all day they're having fun. They're eating marshmallows by the campfire. By a certain time, Natalie knows she's supposed to be in that house and she's not supposed to be outside. But what does Summer do? She peer pressures her. Summer tells Natalie that they're gonna tell like a little scary story time, because what could happen? Who is gonna hurt them out here? Like, nothing, ghosts don't exist. They're telling scary story times by the campfire when they're supposed to be inside, when all of a sudden everything goes quiet. They can't hear nothing. No bug, nothing. Everything is silent. That's when Summer gets the bright idea to whistle. Now, there's a lot of stigma around whistling. Some people say whistling calls the devil. Some people say you're not supposed to whistle in the house because it can call the devil. There's a lot of stigma around whistling. But one thing I know you're not supposed to do for sure is whistle in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. Okay? I think I fixed it to an extent, but it's still like, you know, it's not as sticky. I feel like I did a good job by like adding more glue and activating it. And now I'm going to add these little cute little bead things. I accidentally said the story wrong. She whistled before everything went silent. My bad. So when Summer whistled, everything goes quiet. And it's so quiet that you could literally hear a pin drop 10 feet away. Like, that's how quiet it is. So when Summer whistles, Natalie like tells her stop doing that. And she doesn't listen. She keeps going. Summer only stops when she hears her name being called. Now, Natalie can't hear this. Only Summer can. And then they both hear a creak, like someone stepping on something in the bushes. Because in the backyard of Natalie's grandparents' home, it's nothing but woods. It's literally woods. That's why they have a rule that you're supposed to be in the house before nightfall. The creaks and the cracks start getting louder and louder and louder and louder to where it sounds like it's by the edge of the bush line. This is where they both hear this screeching, almost ringing sound and it's like hurting their ears. So they both run inside. They made it inside just in time because guess what they see coming out the bushes? Something on all fours, pale white, mouth open. I'm done. No. They watched that thing all night right before sunrise, and it went right back into the woods. Natalie never seen that thing again, and she stopped talking to Summer after that. I would too. I mean, I don't know what's with all these story times of people just like completely disobeying like rules that certain people follow in a certain area, but y'all need to stop. I think I did fix this slime because, yeah, like, I know her name is Blueberry Muffin before anyone says she's not Strawberry Shortcake. She's a part of the Strawberry Shortcake friend group. Bye, guys. It's been so long I almost forgot, but get your money's worth and let it drain. Bye, guys. Scary story time while I react to store-bought slime. This slime is called Lemonade Stand. What? Stan. It's been so long, y'all. Hunter and his friends were planning a weekend getaway trip at this old lake. Now, there had been rumors that this lake was haunted, but of course, Hunter and his friend they didn't believe in any of that haunted talk. But y'all, I can't explain how these like sponges feel, but it doesn't feel like a regular sponge. Like, it feels like slime almost. It's like a squishy. Now, this trip was supposed to be 2 to 3 days max. I can't open it. But multiple people told Hunter not to go on this trip just because the lake is in a rural area and people wouldn't be able to get to him in time if something happened. But Hunter and his friends, again, did not care. Y'all, it said it's scented, but this just smells like regular slime. Oh no. Okay, y'all, it's not pokey and it's not stretchy. like at all. What is this? A blob of nothing. Y'all have to forgive me, I am a little rusty, so I'm sorry if I'm not getting to the point quick enough. When Hunter and his friends arrived at this camp, Hunter felt a bit off, but he got in the water with his friends and they had a little fun. By this time, it was already, 10 p.m., and this is where a lot of the torture starts to happen, okay? Hunter starts to hear his grandmother call his name, and his grandmother isn't alive anymore. I'm gonna try my best to fix this slime, y'all, but I don't know. I think a little glue could help it. I did add these in there because it's like so cool. Now Hunter immediately jolts up when he hears his grandmother calling his name, and he notices that his tent bunking buddy wasn't in the tent. So he starts calling his buddy's name, and his buddy isn't answering back. At this point, he's scared because he knows his grandma isn't here anymore, and the fact that he's hearing his grandma everywhere around him is freaking him out. Hunter is scared out of his mind at this point because he could hear whatever's calling his grandma circle around his tent. I added water. Maybe that could help. Hunter calls for his friends, but they're not answering. He's screaming at this point when the noises finally stop. He opens the tent, and there he sees it. About 20 feet away from his tent, he sees something tall and black with no eyes and a large jaw that's like hanging. And then he sees his friends, all of them lined up one by one, unalived, not here anymore. It didn't matter how loud Hunter screamed because no one could hear them. They were in the most haunted part of the forest. No one went over there. Everyone warned them and they still didn't listen. All night, Hunter heard that monster eating on his friends. And not only could he hear that, he could hear the voices of everyone in the forest screaming, crying. He could hear his grandma, and he started to go crazy at one point. Hunter didn't think he was going to make it out alive. And to this day, Hunter doesn't know how he did. He doesn't have an explanation. He just says he hopes people can believe him because his friends went missing in a popular national forest. People told him that it was haunted and they went anyway. This slime, if I had to rate it, I'd rate it a 2 just because I don't even know. Like, I can't even tell you why. This slime had so much potential though. I tried everything. I added more glue. I added water. The last thing I'm gonna try is lotion. Cucumber melon, because this is not scented, it lied. Okay. Do y'all think it's gonna work or no? Let's see. Oh, no. Now this looks more like lemonade, but oh my gosh, my camera's dirty. I'm sorry, y'all. It didn't work. It didn't work. So this is definitely a 1, actually. The only good thing about that slime was these little foam balls that aren't really foam balls. I don't even know what they are, but they look cool. Well, that's the end. I think I saw the Grim Reaper. Scary story time while I make slime haunted house edition. I know that intro sounds insane, but I do think I saw the Grim Reaper. Oh my gosh, y'all already know. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. We're making clear slime today, so I can't let it drain too much because I don't got a big bowl like that, okay? Pink is gone, so now we have to use blue. I'm sorry, y'all. When I was staying in Georgia, I seen a lot of ghosts. Like, it's not even funny. It's actually uncanny. So basically, this day, I was already having a bad day. I wanted to leave the earth, okay? But your girl also felt strangely protected. And I had asked my mom if she could take me somewhere so I can go get myself some food. I might put a little bit of lotion, just a little bit. Just, come on, that much. There we go. I remember feeling irritated and annoyed just because, like, one of the people who were toxic in that household kept, like, talking to me in a disrespectful way. So I was just trying to keep my cool. And I remember just, like, having this weird, like, feeling. I can't really describe it. If this makes sense, I'm sitting in the car, I have my phone in my hand, and I'm not looking up, but I'm looking like this. And I can still see, like, the front door, like, in my peripheral vision. Does that make, did I say that right? And next thing you know, I see a super tall black thing with a hat standing on the left side of the door. It was there for a good 5 seconds, and when I looked my eyeballs up, it was gone. On this specific street, I've seen a lot of paranormal activity. Like, one time I seen a man walking behind the car, and I asked my mom if she seen that, and then nobody was there. It's like he vanished in thin air. That's another story for another time, though. So I kind of like shook it off. And then I looked back at my phone, and maybe like, I want to say like about 40 seconds later, I see something in white. Oh my gosh, something in white standing on the right side of the door. I'm gonna add these weird like foamy like ball thingies in here. and they were about the same height, and they were looking directly at me. And it was strange because when I looked up, this time it didn't disappear and it was just looking at me. And when I looked back down and looked up again, it was gone. But I seen both the black and both the white. Oh my gosh, I have goosebumps. My arm is so hairy, you're not gonna be able to see it. And they were just like staring in the way of the door. And in my head, the first thing that I thought is, there's a lot of death that's going to be happening in that house, because someone had already died in that house years before. And then that house held so much negative like energy. It was super toxic. And the fact that I seen like something black on the left side of the door and then something white on the right, like I was like, okay, like God, get me out of here. And people ask me, am I freaked out when I see like ghosts? It depends. Like I feel like each ghost has a different feeling, and I've definitely been freaked out before. But that time, like, I was only freaked out when I seen the black thing because it scared the light. Like, it scared me subtly. But then, like, after the white thing appeared, like, it didn't, like, scare me anymore. I don't know why this isn't activating, but I cannot use any more activator. So I'm just going to try to activate it with my hands. And if I have to, I might just, I'm lying. I'm going to use some more activator. Because, like, I'm not going to be sitting here all day waiting for this to activate. So, yeah. Anyways, that's the time when I think I saw the Grim Reaper, because guess what, like literally a couple, like I want to say like a week after that, somebody who was just in that house died. So it was just like, oh, like, okay, what's happening, what's gonna happen to me? Okay, so yeah, this is the slime. I'm gonna like finish meeting it and then I'm gonna come back. I'm literally so goated for this. Look, yeah, it's still sticky, but not as sticky, you know? It's like not as sticky. But this is this blue slime. I tried to make it like this iceberg slime. Let me know if y'all want some more of my creepy, scary stories. I'm back, and I'm back for good. That was so cringy. That felt like freaking Disney Channel. Okay, bye, y'all. Scary story time, haunted house edition. Oh my gosh, y'all. I missed y'all so much. It's been forever and a day. Let's lock in. Kylie was a grandparents girl. She was always with her grandparents no matter what. She literally grew up with them. But when Kylie turned 15, her grandparents unfortunately passed away in a strange accident. Get your money's worth in what? Let it drain. Y'all already know. Let it drain. Let it drain. This is gonna be a little bit of a plain Jane because I don't have any of my slime supplies because I moved. So yeah. Kylie and her family then moved into her grandparents' home. And that's when all the creepy stuff started to happen. The house was a 2-story house with an attic, and no one ever went into the attic, ever. Kylie's room was directly underneath the attic, and she swore she heard footsteps every single night to the point to where she would sleep in her brother's room. She told her parents, but of course her parents told her that she experienced a lot of trauma with her grandparents' accident, and she's just hearing things basically. Kylie knew something was up because every night she swore she heard someone breathing in her ear. At this point, it's been about 2 years, and the paranormal activities that was happening in the house kind of died down. Kylie's parents were leaving her to babysit her little brother while they go out somewhere. She doesn't specify. They told her that they would be back by morning. Kylie is now 17 or 18 years old, and she's kind of forgot about all the paranormal stuff she used to believe in. The night starts off as normal. Kylie's in her room, her brother's in her room, when out of nowhere, they both hear this loud slam coming from the kitchen. Now, if nobody's home but them, they both go to check, and all of the cabinets are like slammed open. Kylie is completely freaked out, but Kylie's brother does not believe in the supernatural, so he just goes and closes all the cabinets, even though he can't explain what exactly happened, okay? Kylie is scared, okay? She's in her room, and this is where she starts to hear footsteps. The footsteps are so loud, they wake her up out of her sleep. Kylie is now in her brother's room, and Kylie's brother fell asleep, okay? And she's on her way to go to sleep when she starts to hear someone calling her name repeatedly, and she's so incredibly scared, and she starts to hear the footsteps, like, above them, like, run. She goes to check. Couldn't be me, but she goes to check who was calling her name. And when she opens the door, she looks directly down the hallway and she sees 2 figures standing, and they look exactly like her grandparents. But the only difference is they're all black with red eyes. See? No. 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 Kylie screams as loud as she can and she closes her brother's door. Her brother jolts up and they both can hear figures running up and down the hallway, banging on the brother's door. Oh my God. The banging literally started at like 2:30, 3 o'clock and did not end until 8 or 9:30, okay? The banging was so bad they thought the door was gonna fly off. They also heard like figures in the living room, like throwing everything around. And when the parents got home, they screamed for their children's names because they thought that somebody done broke in. The house looks a complete mess. Scary story time, Appalachian Mountain edition, while I make slime on the floor because I moved into a new house and I don't have a vanity yet. Also, I'm sorry that I haven't been filming videos. I'm sick. Well, I'm getting over my cold. It was the flu. Get your money's worth and let it drain. Now, Kimberly and her family just moved into this new house along the Appalachian Mountain Trail, and they weren't newbies to the lore of the mountains. But Kimberly didn't really believe in all that. Kimberly was a shy kid. She stayed to herself and she had 0 friends. Please give me some more glue. I'm praying. Kimberly and her dad walked a lot and they walked like some trails in the Appalachian Mountains, but they never really stayed too late because Kimberly's mom didn't like the idea, even if she didn't believe it. I'm praying I have more glue. Yes! Kimberly literally had 0 friends, and one day her dad wasn't around, so she decided to go on a walk, and this is where she meets this girl named Veronica. Now, Veronica and Kimberly become inseparable. Unfortunately, Veronica doesn't go to Kimberly's school, so she's still lonely at school, but she has a best friend to come home to after school. Now, Kimberly's parents were pretty strict. They didn't want her to have any type of sleepovers, and people couldn't sleep over their house. So when Veronica did come over was when her parents weren't home. It's been months now, and guess what? Kimberly's parents go out of town, so she's gonna be home alone, and she decides that this is the perfect time to invite Kimberly over. By the way, for the people asking what my activator is, this is the activator I use. You can find it at Walmart. So Kimberly and Veronica have their very first sleepover. It's fun. They're telling scary story times. They go to sleep around like 12, and out of nowhere at 3 a.m., Kimberly wakes up to the sound of a scream. Like, it's so loud, she feels like it dang near broke her freaking glasses. So I'm gonna pour some of my other slime on here. There we go. She immediately starts looking for Veronica, but Veronica is nowhere to be found. And so at this point, Kimberly is scared. She's home alone. Parents are like literally miles away, and she can't find Veronica. She's looking throughout the entire house when out of nowhere, she starts to hear footsteps above her head. Again, home alone. Only person that should be there is her and Veronica. And the footsteps is happening in the attic. So she's just thinking, okay, maybe Veronica got curious and started to explore the house, and she wasn't allowed to go into the attic. She goes into the attic. No one is up there. She comes back down, and this is where she sees at the foot of the like stair part of the attic case. I don't know. She sees something literally tall, black with a neck like this. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. I can't. She sees that. Okay, and so she immediately runs back up into the attic and she's screaming Veronica's name. Veronica's still not coming out. At this point, she starts to hear the like whatever that is at the bottom of the staircase climb up the staircase. She's hurled herself into a tiny little ball, and then she hears Veronica's voice, and she looks up and Veronica's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "Bro, you didn't see that?" And so this is where Veronica goes, "Just surrender yourself to him." What? Actually, I think I might jump out the window. What? And she tells Veronica, "Girl, stop playing." And she's like, "I'm not playing," right? And now Kimberly, whoever sent this to me, didn't really explain how I could explain the sound, but I don't know, it's just a creepy sound. When she looks back up, Veronica's not there anymore. And so she runs downstairs, and keep in mind, it's nighttime. She was never allowed to go outside at night because like the theories that her mom believed were true, but she don't care. She run outside anyway, and she could hear birds, crickets, all like the bugs, and then out of nowhere, straight silence. She doesn't hear anything. She looks behind her. It's the man, super tall with the broken neck. I don't know what this theme is with the man with the broken neck, but I'm good. And she's just running, screaming, trying to get the attention of her neighbors. But remember, she's in the Appalachian Mountains, so the neighbors ain't gonna open the doors for you. They're not. At this point, she's literally running, and somehow, some way, he's still 5 feet behind her. 5 feet behind her. I don't know if I said this already, but she runs to the trail where her and Veronica met, and there Veronica is sitting on a bench near a fallen tree. And when she looks behind her, the man in black with the broken neck, he's behind her also. And Kimberly is freaked the crap out. She doesn't know what to do. She's literally scared. Her parents aren't here. Keep in mind, she's like 17 years old. She's still thinking that Veronica a real person. Veronica ain't real, honey. You got to go. You got to go. When Kimberly called Veronica's name, Veronica turned her head and there was nothing there. There was just a sunken face. Like it was just a bottomless pit of nothing. So, yeah. The person who sent me the story didn't tell me how Kimberly made it out, if she's okay, if she didn't make it. All I know is that this is one of the tales of the Appalachian Mountains, and this is why I will never, I won't be caught there. I won't. But this is my white slime. Yes. I don't really have a lot of slime supplies, but I thought I'd just make a little story time for y'all because it's been a minute. So, yeah, bye guys. My knees hurt and my back. Oh, my bed is so tea.